The grass isn't always greener. Just a year after he initially announced his departure, Chandler Smith now reportedly wants to team back up with Toyota. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Early this week, and everyone's still talking about Kaulig Racing. Not so much about their triumphant victory at Charlotte this past Sunday, more so about the uncertainty surrounding their immediate future. We'll talk all things Kaulig Racing in just a few moments, but first, some pretty cool news from yesterday. In honor of Kevin Harvick's final NASCAR Cup Series season, next Sunday's race at Homestead Miami Speedway has been renamed the Forever 400, presented by Mobil 1. A pretty cool gesture from not only the racetrack, but also Mobil 1, a longtime Stewart-Haas Racing partner. You know, it's funny, with all these tracks doing their own thing to commemorate Kevin Harvick's career, it just keeps ramping up pressure on Phoenix Raceway. What is Phoenix Raceway going to do to honor Kevin Harvick? The dude practically owned the facility the past 2 decades. They gave Jeff Gordon naming rights his final season. Did Jimmy Johnson have a street named after him somewhere over there? I could be wrong about that. They got to do something special to honor Kevin Harvick. Maybe name the trophy after him. Maybe the Phoenix Raceway trophy going forward should be of Kevin Harvick. What's some gesture thing Kevin Harvick was known for, besides parking in his opponent's pit stalls? Smiling, happy Harvick, maybe that's something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Cool gesture though from Homestead Miami Speedway, Mobil 1. I'll be at the Forever 400 at Homestead Miami in a couple weeks, so I'm looking forward to it. Kaulig Racing. Big win on Sunday. Second Cup Series win in that company's young history. AJ Allmendinger, older race car driver, emotional afterwards, celebrating what very well could be his final Cup Series victory. Great moment, special moment, but naturally, quickly, questions turn towards the future. Kaulig Racing has some tough questions to answer in the not-so-distant future. After Sunday's win at the Roval, Matt Kaulig, owner, Chris Rice, team president, and AJ Allmendinger, driver, were all in the media center for the post-race press conference. And there, they deflected questions about not only AJ Allmendinger's future, but also about the future of their top Xfinity Series driver, Chandler Smith. When asked point blank by Jordan Bianchi of The Athletic, will Chandler Smith be with the team next year? Chris Rice said, ask his agent. Yesterday, in a Sportsnaut article, Matt Weaver reported that Chandler Smith and his agent are hoping to reunite with Toyota next season. Chandler Smith is still in the first year of a 3-year contract he signed with Kaulig Racing. So, as Matt Weaver notes in this article, any move to Toyota may require a buyout. I'll link the full Sportsnaut article down in the description below. I highly encourage you to go check it out. In it, Matt Weaver notes he talked to Chris Rice, team president, Kaulig Racing, and Rice expressed hope that Chandler Smith would remain with the team next year, but also said that, quote, money talks. So, this is interesting. Chandler Smith is in the middle of his first full year of Xfinity Series competition, also his first year with Kaulig Racing, with Chevrolet. It's been a pretty good year. He got that early win at Phoenix. It's been up and down, maybe more down than up since then, but he's still in the playoffs, just advanced to the round of 8. I think with the points reset, he's 6th on the playoff grid, minus 11. So not a bad rookie season for the young driver at all. But this is interesting because a year ago, Chandler Smith willingly signed a 3-year contract with Kaulig Racing, despite, according to himself, having an offer to go Xfinity racing with Toyota. Chandler Smith said this 1 year ago, quote, their path for me next year, Toyota's path, was to go full-time Xfinity. I had multiple options where I could go, but at the end of the day, I had to take a step back and take off my TRD hat and put on my family hat for a minute and say, what is the best opportunity for me and my family long term? I don't think it's any secret that Kaulig Racing is going to be a powerhouse. It already is in Xfinity, and they will be in Cup one day as well. That was only 1 year ago. Chandler Smith chose Kaulig Racing's Xfinity team over Toyota and was talking about long term, this is the right move for me and my family. 1 year ago, dude signed a 3-year deal. Now he wants out? This feels like the NBA where players force themselves out early all the time. Is Chandler Smith going to be the first NASCAR driver to hold out? I'll give Chandler this benefit of the doubt. Maybe this time last year, Toyota offered him a Sam Hunt Racing seat, which, no disrespect to Sam Hunt Racing, but they are not at Joe Gibbs Racing's level. And maybe Chandler said, hey, give me a JGR seat or I'll walk. And Toyota let him walk. I guess that's possible. They ultimately put John Hunter Nemechek, a Toyota driver they really like, and Sammy Smith, a driver who brought Pilot Flying J money, in their Xfinity Series seat. So maybe Chandler Smith didn't fit into their plans, so he chose Kaulig Racing. I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. Maybe whatever Xfinity offer Toyota was giving him was not a good one. That's certainly possible. But okay, that's all in the past. Let's fast forward to the present day. Here and now, does Chandler Smith have any leverage? If, in fact, he does need to be bought out of the last 2 years of his Kaulig Racing contract, that's a big ask of Toyota. Chandler clearly didn't want to work with Toyota last year, so why should Toyota work with him now? I'll give Chandler Smith this. JGR needs to fill those Xfinity seats. John Hunter Nemechek is moving up to Cup with Legacy Motor Club, and Sammy Smith just announced he's going to Junior Motorsports. Toyota does not have many other prospects who right now are ready for the Xfinity Series. There's a lot of talk about Ryan Truex. Can he find the funding to put together a full season? He's 31 years old. I don't think he's viewed as a top prospect at this point. There's Corey Heim, who's a 3-time winner in trucks this year. He's currently atop the playoff grid. He could be ready. There's one. Outside of him, there's 18-year-old Jesse Love, who just won 10 out of 20 ARCA races. There's William Sawalich, who's probably a little too young. I think he just turned 17 years old. Then there's Tony Breidinger. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but she may have the sponsorship to put together a full season. Chandler Smith right now is probably better than just about every prospect I just mentioned. But Toyota doesn't really need a ready-to-go prospect right now. Look at the Cup Series. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Gibbs are all 30 years old or younger. Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin are the only old guys, and Denny Hamlin just signed a multi-year extension. Toyota really only needs, maybe one young driver ready on standby to replace Truex should next year be his final season. But even then, JGR and Toyota have shown a willingness in the past to just go out and get top free agents. Hey, Martin Truex Jr. was a top free agent when they went and got him to put him in the 19. 2311, Toyota team just went out and got Tyler Reddick. Before Reddick, they went out and got Kurt Busch. So again, we're talking about leverage here. Would Toyota, JGR like to have Chandler Smith? Yeah, probably, sure. But if they have to buy out 2 years of his Kaulig contract, he better bring a big sponsor check. I'm interested to see what Toyota does. I'm also interested to see how Kaulig Racing handles this. It seems Kaulig Racing is reshuffling right now, is making some wholesale changes, is looking to reinvent itself, to change the way they do business from here on out. They opted to put Daniel Hemrick in the 31 next year because he brought sponsorship. Justin Haley didn't. They let young, talented Justin Haley walk to Rick Ware. Now, despite the win this weekend, it seems likely AJ Allmendinger won't be back in Cup next year, again, due to lack of funding. Matt Kaulig did say this weekend that the team has a plan for that number 16 Cup car, but they're just not quite ready to announce it yet. AJ Allmendinger this weekend admitted that he would prefer to race in Cup, but he's a team player. He'll do whatever's best for the company. Hypothetically, Kaulig Racing could go from young, improving Justin Haley and veteran road course race AJ Allmendinger to underwhelming Daniel Hemrick and driver who brings funding. That, it sounds like, will not be Chandler Smith in the span of one offseason. This team has been very exciting in Xfinity and even Cup in recent years, but that hype train may be screeching to a halt sooner than we realize. What if their win this weekend at the Charlotte Roval was this team's last hurrah for quite some time? Matt Kaulig funded this team out of pocket or through his businesses for a long, long time. I don't blame him for looking for outside sponsorship. Who isn't? Racing is a business. It has to make sense. It's just sad to watch from afar here and see a team that once was all about trophy hunting, it now seems to be turning into a team that's all about sponsorship hunting. again, I can't blame anyone for looking for funding. Racing is a hard business to make work. It's just disheartening to see this young, exciting team potentially reach their ceiling. We may see them find their floor here in the coming months and years. I hope not. Again, all signs point to AJ Allmendinger not returning to the Cup Series next year. I hope they're wrong. I hope Allmendinger is back. I think he's the most qualified driver for that job. I don't know who Kaulig is considering instead of him. I guess we should wait and see that announcement. Maybe they pull a rabbit out of a hat and surprise us with someone we didn't see coming. A great choice, perhaps. But for now, at least, Kaulig Racing's future concerns me. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you make of Chandler Smith's predicament? Will he stay at Kaulig Racing, or will he find a way to return to Toyota after a year apart? Will Toyota have him back? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below, but that's going to do it for this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We talk NASCAR every single day here on Out of the Groove. As always, a huge thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters. Again, there's a chance Carson Hocevar is going to announce his plans later today. If that in fact is the case, we'll be back sooner rather than later. Thanks for the support, y'all. I'll catch you in the next episode.